Okay. What's up, guys? Can you hear me? Yeah, it's finally started. I'm talking like for 4 minutes. Is it working? Is it working now? Am I on the stream? How is my voice? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I just saw the stream just started yet. So, yeah, I'm just talking 4 minutes for nothing. Okay. How was your month, guys? Is my voice okay? Yeah. We will start with the members demos first. Okay, perfect. So yeah, Barish, thanks to him, we just got a new version of the bot. We will see how it goes. Maybe, yeah, maybe we can face some bugs and problems, but we will hope for the best. At worst case scenario, I will just pick the demos manually. Thanks, brother. Yeah. So yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, my baby boy is coming in kind of like 2 weeks, I think. We don't know, but super excited to be a father. Like it's everything is gonna change. Like it's gonna feel amazing to be able to like parent a new human being. Yeah, thank you, guys. So I'm super excited for the new chapter. Okay, everyone is here. Let's start listening some demos now. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Yes. Actually, again, like Ryan nailed it. I like he's always finding nice vocals, on point vocals. I think the vibe is very nice. The energy level is top. Yes, the claps. So I think I don't know. The claps are maybe too loud. Maybe it's the sample selection, and I feel like the claps are kind of clashing with the kick, because especially the top kick in the beginning, it's like hitting too hard. You know. Maybe the top kick is kind of too harsh. So I will just look into it. I will just look into it. And the vocals could be a little bit loud, in my opinion. That it was kind of silent. And check the mid frequencies. We have a little bit gap in here, you see. So this place could be fit by the vocals. I will just boost a little bit volume for the vocals in this frequency, like 1K, like the high mids. Yeah, like the chat, you guys already know what to fix. Yeah, perfect, guys. I agree all of the things in the chat. One more thing, arrangement-wise, I don't get why do you have just a small drop in here. You know, it's like just 4 bars. I thought it's gonna be going on, but it's just ended. I will just get rid of this part because I think it's not serving to the track in a good way. So yeah, I will just skip this part, go to the second break, build it up, and that's it, man. I think the arrangement is good, except this little extra drop. So I think it's not repetitive because this is a short track, you know. It's like a good vibe. It's like full energy. We can just make it flow in 2.5 minutes. That's okay. So this clap may be okay, but the other clap, like the offbeat clap, maybe the sample selection is not good. Yeah, this one. Other than that, fire demo, bro. I like it. Again, the vocals are nailed it. But make sure to feel these frequencies. Even like give some volume to the vocals, and also in the master you can just boost a little bit of here. Like a bit 1K, try that. Maybe 3K, 4K, also try that. And you will hear like the track is gonna be so much clear, you know, so much big. And you will realize after you just boost it. It always happens like this. Yeah, nice demo, nice demo. Okay, let's go to Go Wild's music. So yeah, guys, to the people who just joined the stream, we are picking the demos with a Discord bot, you know. And today, Barish just updated the bot. So we will see. We didn't test it yet, the new version. So it's gonna give priority to the members. It's gonna pick the members in a prior. And then it's gonna, after there are no member demos yet, it's gonna pick the regular demos from the feedback stream section. Okay, even I can. Did I pick this? Yes. Let me pick one more demo. Let's go.
blood is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound. For no prophecy was ever produced by the will of man, but men spoke from God as they were carried along by the Holy Spirit. Do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? For all who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God.
You know, the rumble is sick, bro. I like the rumble. Like it has nice sub, it has nice meats. I like the flow. The thing is, yeah, the track lacks ear candies, you know. It's just happening the foundation is very nice. The kick bass, I like it. The background synths, it's sounding very dark, you know. I feel these emotions. But the thing is, it's too repetitive without like same loop going on and on and on. The thing is like you need ear candies. I don't know, the bass shots, the acid shots, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's the most of the thing. The break section, yeah, I remember you said this is an old demo. But again, I'm gonna say it. The break section, there are too much speech, and the speech is not melodic, not musical. You know, it's just a speech. You gotta make it melodic. You gotta make it fit to the track. It should be in harmony with the rest. In the break section, we have the scenes and atmosphere sounds, and then there's some speech, just a talking, just giving a message. But then it's gonna sound dissonant with the track, you know. It should be in harmony with the rest of the elements. Um, so maybe use less words, but make them in harmony, in the grid. Try to chop it. Maybe even you can try to sing it. You were talking about it, right? In the Discord last week. Maybe you can use your own voice. I think that's the perfect way to do it. So maybe, yeah. So maybe you can just have a speech, you know, a shorter couple of words, give your message, and then maybe auto tune it. And then with Udemy or similar website, you can transform it to some AI kind of speech, and then it's gonna be dope. That's the thing. Yeah, we already talked this on the previous streams. For the drops, you need something to give the track identity. You know, some sound, some repeating sound, a weird synth, um, and the ear candies. That's it. Yeah, overall I like it. The kick rumble is very nice. The full beat, the ambiances, the groove is very nice, but it's lack of unique sounds, you know, or I don't know, the theme sound, the sound that gives identity. Some FX, yeah, ear candy, that kind of little details. Again, bro, thanks for sending this banger. What rumble, bro? Did you make the rumble by yourself? I like it. The rumble is sick. jumping to the next one. So far, so good.
Like a shadow in the grading enemies surround me, but they never catch my face. All around me, do the trouble like a shadow in the grading enemies surround me, but they never catch my face. All around me, do the trouble like a running, 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 do the trouble like a shadow in the brazen in. Enemies surround me, but they never catch my face.
Bro, like, I think if you can mix it properly, it could be a big release, you know. It's like, I think the arrangement wise, it's like almost as good as the art pad style, you know. I like it, man. So I'm not gonna judge the mixing much. Just make sure you have enough sub. I think the bass, upper bass is okay, but the sub is lacking currently. But you gotta make a nice kick and bass balance. Also in the mid bass like this. Like this bass, you know, it's kind of too thin. Why don't you boost a little bit mids of this? Yeah, man, like definitely it needs somebody. Try to boost a little bit body on the bass because it's like giving the track the identity, right? Okay, so other than that, let me check. So all you gotta do is just there are a couple layers out here. Just make sure you polish them enough. Currently, they are kind of fighting with each other. They are playing at the same time, but they are not like a one sound, you know. Maybe you can think like that. So there was the bass kind of distorted sound, and there was like a synth sound playing, right? So make sure they have similar ADSR settings, you know, similar attack, similar release. At least the releases and the decays, if they can match, now they can be sound like a one big sound. But now I can hear there are separate layers and kind of trying to merge, but not in sync, not in harmony. So that's better to check the ADSRs of those sounds. And yeah, make sure to polish like this answer lead. Polish it, bro. Yeah, give OTT. Let me check the. Definitely need some mid frequencies like 1K area. Maybe vocals could be louder. This drop could impact bigger maybe. Maybe it's all about the build up or just a pre-drop. Or maybe you can have like kind of like exhaust or a reverb clap in the beginning of the drop. Yeah, bro, like many possibilities, but the foundation is dope. I like it. Sick track. Jumping to next one, Kayus track. Let me pick one more, by the way. Yep. guys, actually nice demo. I think it's very promising. If you can fix a couple of things, I will mention. So first of all, I think the kick needs to be more clicky. Maybe you can boost the transient shaper and give it more attack. Maybe you can layer, maybe you can EQ. But make sure to get some click from the kick. Currently, the sub and mid is okay. It's in harmony with the bass, but the click is not enough. Yeah, if it... Yeah, it needs to be more clicky. Other than that, the main drop leads, I think it's a little bit thin. So if we check with span, so those frequencies, it's just not enough. You know, you can try to boost a little bit, 600, 400, this area, but don't overdo it. Also, you can boost a little bit of 6 to 8K, so it will give more clarity. And also, you can download this rare EQ and put it to the leads. Put the frequency to 100, put the bandwidth to the middle, and just boost it like until you get enough body, enough power from the lead. This is also like you can do the same thing to the break leads as well. Break leads also, as Yellow Punk says, kind of lack of, again, harmonies and clarity, you know. So for the break leads, you can again just boost a little bit like lows like this. And for the high frequencies, you can find the sweet spot from here, maybe 5K, okay? And then you can just boost it. So you can just shape the leads a little bit. More saturation requires for the break leads also. You see, even when you check this part, it doesn't have any body. You can see that it has highs, but it's lacking body. So yeah, try to just fit it to the frequency spectrum. And other than that, the second drop, I think the leads were not unique, you know. It was like just a soft lead playing the same rhythm. So maybe some pitch automation. So maybe another lead. Maybe, I don't know, you can automate something, you know. Keep it moving. Kind of, it's the second drop, especially second drop, was too stable in my opinion. If you can fix this, the foundation is very nice. It's like a festival big room techno. Just go for it, bro. But yeah, just try to fix the leads first. Fix the mixing issues. Yeah, detune automation would fit perfectly. Pitch automation would fit perfectly. Phaser, flanger, combined with beat crush, you know, go creative. That little details make a track stand out among the others. But overall, I like this. Very enjoyed. High energy, it has a nice foundation. Thanks for sending this banger. Let's go to Rewind's track.
When you're loving me, don't let go. Oh, don't let go. Oh, don't let go. When you're loving me, I lose control. I lose control. I lose control.
Nice one. Dude, like every big room you send in a certain level, like a pro level, you know. So not much to criticize, to be honest. For the drop leads, again, I will just use this rare trick and give a little bit body because kind of is thin in the mid frequencies. It will make them so much huge. The plug leads, maybe you can volume it up a little bit. So that little plug lead, I think it should be more loud. So for the break, I think everything was on point. The vocals, the melodies, the synths, like everything was so nice, except this gap. You know, I think you don't need this gap. It was very flowing, you know, until this gap, like just I was like want to go to the climax part, but everything slows down. Too empty, too empty. Maybe just feel it more, try to build more tension in this gap, or maybe just remove this. Yeah, just go to the climax, bro. Other than that, nothing to fix, in my opinion. Everything is nice. Yeah, for the drop leads, you know, this frequency, a little bit boostable, like 400 to 600 maybe. Yes, something like that. Yeah, like chat says, go straight to the climax, would sound more banging, I agree. But also Yellow says, downer synth or something like that. Maybe that's also the case at reverse snare. So there are several things to do. Yeah, in the end, you guys are gonna pick the option that fits to your taste. But overall, sick track, bro. Why are you guys releasing this big room? By the way, like there are not much labels left. Release old school big room. Yeah, just let me know. Again, thanks for this banger. I can never say no to a good big room track. Like overall, I think it's kind of hypnotic. I like it. Like maybe you don't even need a vocal, bro, for this one. I think the arrangement is nice. It's for 20 minutes, but I don't know. It felt fast. In my opinion, maybe it's really hypnotic. The synths are you are using kind of too harsh. Maybe try to fix it. Yeah, the sounds are nice, but maybe they are not in harmony for this track. Maybe it's the EQ, maybe they are kind of mixed in a harsh way. So try to work on this synths. Maybe you can find a replacement, or maybe you can just EQ the high frequencies a little bit so it fits better to the rest of the track. I think the kick is too clicky. Try to remove some top kick, the top end, kind of remove it, because like just like the opposite, the low end, the punch and the sub of the kick, and it was very lacking. So we are hearing most of a click in the top, but in the low frequencies, in the bottom low end, it doesn't feel much. It doesn't give the kicks driven feeling. Maybe you can just replace the kick. Just one advice. Oh, I'm bad with the words today. Just one advice. Maybe don't try to work more on the sound design. Maybe it's always easier to just find the kick that works well with the track instead of just trying to process the kick. Put another layer, just put another plugin top of each other. No, it's just too much work. And if you are not an expert, you will probably end up with unbalanced kick. So that's why I recommend you to just, instead of spending more time to processing a kick drum at this level, I think it's better to find a kick that fits better to the track. Also, so that whole the track is triplet, right? But what about the sub? I think sub was not fitting with the like this kind of triplet. It was kind of different than the bass, and that's why I think there was some conflict between the sub and the bass. So I will also look at that. So I will probably just go the same pattern with the bass. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But I think the sub was like in a kind of different rhythm. It's hard to sing hum, but yeah. Yeah, in the second part, by the way. Yeah, other than that, the idea is nice, bro. The idea is nice, but the mixing, mostly the sound selection needs work. Thanks for sending this one. I literally got hypnotized, by the way, when listening this one. Okay, WW Kashmir Bad Ashton Ray remix. It's the track. Gonna give me copyright strike, but I'm gonna play it anyway.
I know I'm being bad, but it feels so good. I'm never gonna stop, though I know I should. If you think you could take me, you're misunderstood. I know I'm being bad, but it feels so good. I know I'm being bad. 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 I know I'm being bad, 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 bad. I know I'm being bad, but it feels so good. I never gonna stop, so I know I should. If you think you could take me, you're misunderstood. I know I'm being
Actually, I like the idea of this remix. The thing is, the drop kick doesn't have any sub, any bass. The drop kick is too weak, and also the drop bass, it's lack sub. It feels like there are some love cut going on between kick and bass, maybe like in the kick bass group. I don't know. Just check it out. Maybe it's a sample selection. Maybe you shorten the kick too much, so it loses the tail, like the sub part. I don't know, but the kick and the bass needs work, especially the kick, bro. Like it doesn't hit. There's no bass on the kick. If you check the break section with the vocals, you will realize it's bigger than the drum.
I know I'm being bad. I know I'm being bad, being bad, but it feels so good.
So, for example, in the break section, you have this much bass. It's like minus 36, approximately.
I know if you think you can take me, I'm misunderstood. I know.
And let's check the drop sub. Minus 38. It's less than the break section. So make sure the drop is the biggest part of the track. And also, if you check it, for example, the hi-hat is extremely harsh compared to the low end. So the track needs to have a tonal balance, you know. So what you could do, pick a better kick or make sure it doesn't have any processing, low cut, something like that, and give it more volume to the bass. Make sure the sub frequencies, hit hard. And if you have a hi-hat hitting this much, minus 27, your kick and bass should hit minus 27 as well. So currently you need to boost the kick sub like 10 dB or something like that. It's that much lacking the low end power. But if you do that, you will also fix the mid frequencies as well. So try to find the balance. Give more volume to the kick and bass. I'm talking about the sub frequencies of them. And then maybe lower the hi-hats a little bit so it becomes less harsh. And try to find a balance. The drums, the hi-hats, high end should be kind of equal to the low end, the kick and the bass. If you can do that, if you can manage that, I think that's perfect. And the second thing, the drop leads are kind of too thin. Again, the rare trick I just showed, I think 10 minutes ago, applied to your track as well. So try to give more body to the lead because you have just one lead sound playing the melody. You gotta make sure that sound is cutting through the mix. So this synth is like empty in the whole mid frequencies. It only has the high end. So that's not ideal, bro. So it's all about the tonal balance. For arrangement wise, I think it's a perfect remix. I have no bad criticism for the break section. All my things in the drop because this should hit hard. Also try to add some white noise, washout, sweep, exhaust sounds, maybe craft noise in the drop. Especially the first hit, the impact of the drop should be so much huge. Yeah, nice track. If you have an update, just post it on the Discord. I will just check it whenever I find some time. So we got many demos. By the way, the bot works perfectly. We finished the member demos, and now it's like picking a random demo from the other submissions. So it works perfectly, Barış. So far, so good, bro.
And if you like to go far, 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 and if you like to go far.
Nice one. Good. Bigger on techno. It's I think it's a unique track. I like it. Um, so the thing is, I think I'm not sure about this, but I feel like the breakdown, the vocals are too emotional, right? But the drops are too aggressive. I think there was some conflict between the two emotions, but I think it makes sense though. If you are this much emotional, maybe you can get angry too. So I think that's cool. Um, Let me check. Let me check. The kick, in my opinion, the kick kind of needs a little bit of low end. I like the bass. I think the bass was okay, but the kick could it hit more in the like? What if you just boost the kick? Just try that. With any EQ, a little bit like 40 hertz, like this, 1 dB, maybe 2 dB. Just check it out and maybe it lacks a little bit of hard, low end punch. Yeah, maybe you can check it out. I think the first drop lead is very, very unique. Maybe the background, there are too much things going on. Maybe there is like maybe too crowded. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe try to go more minimalistic in the first.
Put your foot if you like to go. I got no time to go fast.
This synth, I don't know. Maybe you can try a little bit. I don't know, more layers. This sounded too dry to me, to be honest. Yes, this lead. And this acid, maybe it could be more fat. Just make sure it's not phasing. It sounds, I don't know, a little bit narrow, but also it feels like we are losing some frequency information, maybe because of phasing. I'm not sure about it. Yeah, solar eclipse, right. Maybe a Dutensov layer for the brake lead would work, by the way. So this acid in the second drop, cool. Could it be more in your face? Just try that. And otherwise, I think nice track, bro. Thanks for sending this banger. I like it. Nice composition. And by the way, yeah, you guys ask me in the chat, do I swear? I swear a lot, but like swearing in English is not fun, because you only have the F word and some other ones. But in Turkish, if you understand in Turkish, whoa, bro, you cannot imagine the words for swearing. It's so rich in terms of swearing. So yeah, in Turkish, that's why we are. Yeah, I swear a lot in many things, but I try not to. Yeah, you use F word for everything in English, but in Turkish, whoa, bro, it's like so clever, so logical things to ways to swear. So creative words, made up creative words. And when you hear it, you're like, how did they think about this? Yeah. Yeah, that's why swearing in Turkish is good, especially with this government. Like I don't want to talk about it much, but you swear a lot in Turkey. Yeah, but somehow we managed to survive. Let's jump to next one. A little bit silent, no mastering. Yo, bro. First of all, you says you are producing for 3 months. I think for 3 months it's a good track. Um, it's Let me check. I can criticize the mixing because you already got the arrangement right. You have the intro, you have the drop, you have a break section, you have the second drop, outro. The arrangement wise, it's good. The mixing wise, tons of stuff to fix, but it's totally okay because you said you are just working for just 3 months. Keep it on, bro. Everything is perfect for a 3 month producer. In the track, I think do you work with headphones? Because I think in the track, maybe in the headphones it sounds okay, but it could be tricky because this is what was happening to me when I first start. The track has tons of sub frequencies, but not much upper bass frequencies. So if you have, I don't know, a separate sub and a bass, so try to lower the sub a little bit. If you check with span is your best friend. You need to learn to how to read span, how to compare your track with other tracks in span. It's gonna help you a lot and it's gonna make you improve tons of times. So currently I can see that there are just a big hill on the bass frequencies, right? This is your sub bass. And after that, till 200 hertz, you need to have the upper bass frequencies, which is not exist in your track. So try to just feel these upper bass frequencies first. And then the other thing, if you check the synth, the main synth, it was kind of too dry, too dull, Maybe you need a bigger side chain, more saturation, better delay and reverb, that kind of EQ. So yeah, try to make your main melody synth more saturated. Not currently it was too dry. And about the bass, maybe you can try to make a rolling bass, or maybe you can try. Do you have Vengeance packs, for example? So it's not gonna play when I click it, but Vengeance. I write it wrong. Okay. I write it wrong, never mind. Vengeance EDM 5, EDM 1 to 3, sorry. Vengeance EDM 1 to 3. They have tonal kicks, okay? Try to find those pegs. Vengeance, I don't remember how to write it. Vengeance. EDM 1, EDM 2, EDM 3. So it has good tonal kicks like a kick and bass. Maybe you can start using them. So it's like already made samples. Other than that, you can try to find construction kits. For example, in Oli James. Yes, thanks, Barış. So Oli James packs, it has construction kits and like already made kick and rumbles. Try to use the already processed and you release ready sounds in that kind of packs. Yeah, everyone write in the chat. Check these packs. Yeah, let me check also. So currently my FL Studio is not connected to stream, so there won't be any sound. You can check Trey Pierce sample pack, for example. His kicks are nice. He got rumbles as well. So Oli James Big Room Techno packs, kicks, basses, and then Oli James Techno Trance, it's just released. Also Lister has, so Dirty Signal, Ramsey Westwood, they have a free pack. I already had a video on my channel with a download link. It has good kick and basses. So try to use the samples from these producers, these proven samples. And also Lister specs. He got awesome packs. He got a website, Lister Samples. I think you can Google and find it. And with these samples, the production is going to be so much easier. Then it's just going to be placement of the samples, Then you can create a nice low end without hustling, dialing the mixing stuff and that kind of things. Yeah, bro, it saves tons of times with tabbing. Also, look, guys, what I'm working on. So I'm start to make essential, like signature sounds of mine. I don't know when it's gonna be finished, but already I have tons of stuff in here. I hope it's gonna be good when it's finished. Yeah. I like to make a big pack, with a serum pack as well. And it's gonna be very cheap. So far, I have more than 200 sounds so far. But I'm trying to make it bigger. So it works, Yes, a sneak peek. Yeah, bro. Also for your melodies, that kind of stuff, try to saturate the things. That's so important. Then it sounds fuller and it covers more space in the mix. Thanks for sending this track, bro. I'm gonna wait new track every month, so never stop producing. You're a DJ. I always watch your streams in Instagram. I saw tons of your posts. You support my tracks too. And I'm here to support your work, bro. Lucas Evan, edit voices in my head. Let's go.
Voices in my head, go.
I love this track.
Voices in my head, go. 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 Voices head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go. Voices in my head go.
I think it was kind of brutal. Very nice remix, bro. I like it. The vocals goes nice. It's one of the catchiest tracks for last couple weeks. I think I don't know when it's released, but on the radio I always just hear this one, and I was starting to think about it. It's so catchy. Yeah, the question and answer. I think it works nicely. The steplet, maybe it could have a little bit bigger body, like mid boost, just 1 or 2 dB. 3 hours work is good, bro. The mixing wise, I like it too. Maybe the top kick, like the kick could be more clicky with a top kick, or maybe just a little bit like 3K, 2K, kind of high mid boost. But maybe that's enough already. But yeah, I will just make it a little bit more clicky. And other than that, I think it's cool, bro. Nothing to fix, you know. It's already banging hard.
Voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go.
So after this, the vocal says nan 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 nan, and at the same time you have a synth. Maybe they are just clashing. Maybe just remove the synth, and we can just have the vocal. I think it was in here.
I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go.
Yes, in here, gan nan nan nan. Vocals are just saying something. Maybe in here, let's just let the vocals to sing, because synth and the vocal is kind of clashing in that point. So other than that, I wouldn't change anything, bro. It's already sick. Thanks for sending this one. Very nice. So if you just, I don't know, fix it, check it out once more and send me, I will definitely play it on the next Lunatic Radio if it not gets copyrighted. Yeah. So in Lunatic Radio, I'm okay to get copyrighted. Every track is gonna get copyrighted for sure. But sometimes the remixes is like geographically blocking in some countries. So that's something I don't want. You know, in for example, in this week I played several remixes, and the track is just the whole mix is just blocked in like I think 7 countries or 6 countries, like Norway, Finland, Belarus, Ukraine, Russia. I was like, what the fuck? So if that's not happen in remixes, it could happen. Other than that, I like to play this one too. It's nice remix.
Too close to heaven, too close to you. Let me be ready to love like you do. Turn out the lights, my body feels deeper. Let me feel your touch. I won't get this feeling. Too close to heaven, too close to you. Let me be ready to love like you do. Turn out the lights, my body feels deeper. Let me feel your touch. I won't get this feeling. I wanna be too close to heaven, too close to you, yeah, too close to you, yeah. I wanna be there to remember.
What? Dude, very nice track. Yeah, I remember this track because you sent me email for feedback, as I hope I remember correct. Yeah, the vibe is very nice on this track, and I think you made all the changes in a good way. The track is almost release ready, in my opinion. The first thing, the kick needs a little bit more sub. The kick was kind of too thin, you know, when I check it with span in the drop. So I can see that this is bass, right? F. This is bass. And I don't see the kick. Like maybe the kick is in the same key, but it's kind of silent, you know. Make sure the kick hits as much as the sub in here. So the kick sub needs to touch the sub. The kick's body, the kick's low frequencies should touch the sub in here. If you check it with span. So just listen the sub and see where it's peaking and try to put the lowest frequency of your kick to the same loudness, then it's done. I like the panning hi-hats, but maybe it's kind of too loud. I will just lower it a little bit. And other than that, I have something to put the groove of this track to the next level. It's a little detail, but let me show quickly. So something like this on my mind. I think I need to put it to this so you can be able to hear. So let's say you have a kick. No, my kicks are not gonna fit. Okay, let's use one of the kicks in here. I'm just gonna show you a very small trick. If I can find a kick, yeah. Okay, so that's your 4 on the floor kick, right? You can do something like that. You can get a portion of the kick and make it like a percussive loop. And maybe make it silent. And then just place it for groove. You can hide it in the very, very back of the mix. And bro, trust me, it's gonna add so much to the groove. Because you know the thing, you can also use a tom bass, you know, if that's also work. But if you can just use a kick, preferably, yeah, the same key of your track, it's gonna sound so sick. Because you have a Reese bass kind of sound, right? So your bass is like just a long sustained bass. So it's kind of lack of groove in the bass in the low end, and you can achieve it like this. It's gonna fit perfect, trust me. So that's what I will do in this kind of track. Yep. Let me open span again. And nice track, bro. After that, I think it's gonna release ready. If you can do these changes, just let me know. So this kick is from O5 sample pack. Let me check. I don't remember the name of the pack. So this pack, I'm gonna shoot O5 Synapse. So this is the preview of the pack. And this pack is gonna be released Monday. And Tuesday, I will have a video making a melodic techno track using the pack. So yeah, tune into the channel if you want to check it out. Yeah, let's jump to the next track. Good one, bro. Dude, where did you find these vocals? I like it. The vocals are so nice. It's a year-old track. Nice one, bro. I think the mixing, yeah, could be better, but I don't mind. Even this state of this track is releasable in my opinion. It's a splice. You find a hidden gem. It's the first time I'm hearing these vocals. So maybe this lead could be like has more reverb. You know, when the lead stops playing, there should be tons of reverb covering. You know, currently the reverb of this lead, I think it's kind of too thin. And maybe what I will do, you know, with OTT, if you put the OTT and then where's my mixer? If you put OTT and no downward compression, only upward, then it's gonna just boost the reverb to the top, you know, when the lead stops. So maybe you can try upward compression, so the reverb tails could be more obvious and in your face. You know, other than that, I will just give a little bit more volume to the vocals, and that's all. I think it's already releasable, bro. I like it. And maybe for the master, you can hard clip, you know, so you can yeah, make it more flat, the peaks. Yeah, you can just put OTT, and so OTT has two knobs, right? Upward and downward compression. So it's like doing two types of compression. That's why it's just shaping the sound in a very good way. And so if you have no downward, it's just gonna, you know, do the reverse compression. So it's gonna be an expansion plugin. Just test it out. You will see it, and it can make these gaps like full again with the reverb tail. That's it, man. Nice one. Nice track. Thanks for sending this banger.
Every day is a magical state between dreaming and being awake. Everyone we meet is a fellow traveler in the journey of life.
Nice one. Nice one. Especially the climax parts. It's blow my mind. I like it. So much emotions. The vocals are on point. The thing is, vocals are too loud. Just lower it because I needed to, lower my volume from here because it was kind of like way loud than it should be. So try to find a better balance. Lower the vocals a little bit, and the track lose kind of power in the middle of the breakdown. Middle of the second build up. Sorry. So we have this super soft climax solves, right? And it's instantly vanish in the middle of the build. So in here we lose the lead, we lose the climax synths. So try to keep the climax synths till the end. Just slowly make them fade away, and you gotta maybe get the drop lead, and you can make la na 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 like a riser. So this part is like becoming so empty, so sudden. Just try to feel this. And also second drop lead, it definitely needs some body boost. So this lead, just try to feel those frequencies, 4 to 700, let's say. Also maybe 1K. So try to boost these frequencies. And other than that, I'm not sure, maybe I'm just tired, but overall the track has too much high frequencies and it was kind of harsh. Maybe you can also look into that. Otherwise, I think sick track. And I love the melody, bro. So nice. So on point. Nice one. Nice one. Thanks for sending this banger. Wow, Kogan finally brings some big room techno. He's back, guys.
Drums, you feel it. Acid, you hear it. Energy, you see it. Bass so loud, you best believe it. Acid, acid, acid. Techno, bass, drums. Bass, drums, acid, techno. Bass, drums.
Personally, very nice. It's good to see you in exploring big room techno once more, bro. I think the drops are sick. The drop leads are nice. The acid is on point. I will just give a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 dB more volume to the kick. I think kick could hit a little bit bigger. The bass is nice, the low end is tight. The problem is in the break section though. First of all, in the after drop, just try to volume up this arpeggiato behind the vocal a little. This is too silent compared to the rest. And also in the climax. So the bass is too low, you know. Put the bass one octave higher, maybe. Maybe it's trying to play the so low frequencies. That's why I don't hear much bass. And if you check it with span, there is no bass, almost no bass. Yeah, I hear the bass is farting, you know. Just put it one octave higher. Probably that's the case. And also the main synth, the ARP is good, the melody is good, but maybe you are lacking some choirs in the background, maybe some pads. Try to feel this part a little bit, and you are good to go, bro. There's nothing to fix, in my opinion. All the arrangement is nice. All the melodies are good. The drops are like has too much power, too much energy. I like it. If you have updates, just let me know. Yeah, I would like to play this on my radio show too. Nice one. I'm gonna skip the intros to be able to listen more tracks, by the way.
I've never been alone. I've never been alone. I used to howl at the moon. But the moon never howled back. Then nature turned my head and whispered, "Here I am." They say nature holds great wisdom, just like God. Then I knew I've never been alone. Now finally, I'm into the light.
You know, overly, I just like this track, and yeah, Chet is right, man. Like the break section has the Tomorrowland vibes. Where did you get this vocal? If you're on the chat, just let me know. I like the vocal. The theme is nice. All the vocal composition, it's very nice. The thing is, the kick could be a little bit more clicky, in my opinion. Yeah, I thought the kick and bass are too flat. Yeah, maybe it's some top end, some click, some attack would make it proper, the drop, kick and bass. And other than that, this synth, this climax super source, I think it's lacking high frequency. So if you check this, it has tons of mids, that's why it's kind of a little bit muddy, but it doesn't have much of a high frequency. So try to make it like a Nike logo, you know. Give it more highs, high mids, high frequencies, and maybe dip a little bit of mid frequencies, especially in here, 220 Hz. Then you can find a better balance, because this sound is also the second drop lead, right? No, it's the climax. If you fix it, the climax is gonna sound so much open. Currently, it sounds very closed. So also check your waveform, and if you check it, you can see that the break section is looking bigger than the drop. This is a problem. Maybe with a master volume automation, you can lower just a little bit of the break and maybe volume up the drop. So you can, if you gotta mix it like that, the drop should be bigger. The drop arpeggio to bass line, this bum 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 bum, maybe that can be more loud too. So yeah, I will work on these changes, and overall I like it, bro. Very nice, especially the vocals on point. Such a nice vocal. Congrats on this one. I'm jumping to the next track. Oh, we have something interesting in here. Dude, I like it. Something unique, like chill vibes, but at the same time, the drop is adding a very nice contrast. The kick and bass, this driven low end, I like it. The it was guitar, right? The loop is, I think it's very unique. I enjoyed a lot. It feels goes with nice with the vocal as well. I would, what I will change the trick is I will check the kick and bass because this track is based on kick and bass, right? So you gotta make it right. You gotta make it perfect. So currently the kick doesn't have any I don't want to say high frequencies, but I can say attack. It doesn't need to be high frequencies, but maybe a mid attack. So I think the kick needs to be more clicky. And the bass, maybe you could have a little bit of like 100 to 250 hertz area. So maybe you can just layer a clicky rolling bass, something like that, a layer. It could give a little bit driven feeling. Also, you can try to have some swing for the bass. So it's never on the perfect grid. It could be just a little bit off. So it can also add some nice groove to the track, but make sure to apply the same groove to all of your instruments. So then they can be in harmony. That's it, bro. So if you are making this much minimalistic track, you need to work more on the sound design. And I think kick needs work. Bass could have more layers. So just like that. Just like that. Other than that, it's a perfect track. So unique, bro. Like it. Like it. Yeah. Yeah. After updating it, just post it to the Discord. I'm gonna try to check if I have time. So I can just quickly take a listen to. Yeah, sounded very hypnotic for sure. So solar eclipse, brother. Did we listen your track today or not? Last couple demos for today. We didn't listen your track, but you become a member. So the bot should pick your demo already if you post it to the members section. Did you post your demo to the members section? Guys, I enjoy this one so much. It feels like I'm playing a video game and I'm on a boss, you know, like a Castlevania game.
Rock me, baby. Rock me, baby. Rock me, baby. Rock me, baby.
Dude, like the vibe is very nice in this track. It could be easily a nice soundtrack for a game. So my problem, the kick was kind of weak. I would pick a kick with a more low end, more punch. And you can and another thing, so I'm just reading the chat at the same time, so my brain just goes. The other thing is the synth is like high cutted a lot, you know. It only has mid frequencies and there's nothing. Like in the high frequencies, it's only the cymbals. In the mids, we have a filtered synth. So let the synth covers all the frequencies, you know. For example, as you see, 1K, 2K, 3K, this area is totally empty. Try to feel these frequencies. Also try to feel above 8K, 10K. There should be also more high information. And then that's it, bro. Otherwise, nothing to fix. Just this color balance of the track. Thanks.
actually fuck your own face! Motherfucker! I will fuck you up!
You know, I'm not an expert of dubstep, but I think this track has enough aggression. You know, I feel it, bro. It's nice. It's kind of repetitive. I agree. In the second part, I could expect something different, and also the after first drop till the second part, maybe this part could be filled with more maybe foley sound, maybe more ambiances, some background stuff. It could be more full. You know, the main problem, I cannot give much feedback to a dubstep because I'm not listening it much, but the main problem was the bass. So there is only one sine wave on the bass, right? If you check it with span, so that's your only bass. It's like goes to here. Oh, sorry, let me lower this. Yep. So you also need, you only have a sine sub, but you don't have much sub in like bass frequencies. So try to add more layers, upper layers for your bass, or try to saturate your bass so you have more harmonics, and then it's gonna sound more full. And other than that, I think it's okay, but kind of repetitive. Can't give more feedbacks of this one. Huh? Türkçe. So he says, let me make more swear word in Turkish hard techno and you will see it. Yeah, I will play it, bro. For sure. I will enjoy this. Whoa, a sausage waveform. Let's go. I will skip the intro though.
Gather not in silence, but in sound, under strobes and shadows. A temple takes shape. No idol, no god, only rhythm. Heartbeats align. One pulse. One mind. This is communion. This is the riff. One pulse. One mind. This is communion. This is the riff.
Like the dark vibe, I like it, especially in here when the beat goes on. I just groove a lot.
This is the riff.
Dude, this vibe, you gotta keep it to the whole track. So I think the track is kind of too repetitive and it needs to be more ear candy. Something needs to going on. It's too much loop, 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 the same thing. And maybe the sounds are kind of too dry. You can try to add more ear candy. You can process your sound with more saturation. Also, maybe a harder sidechain so we can groove it. You know, the pumping effect could be bigger. And other than that, I think you maximize, clip the track a little bit too much. So we don't have much of a dynamic mix in here. It's all like full. But kind of you gotta find a balance between this much loud maximization with a nice dynamics, you know. Currently the track doesn't dynamic at all. That's what I would say, to be honest. Yeah, too repetitive. Try to add something. I like the vocals. It could be more loud though, and more understandable. Other than that, overall nice foundation. The kick and bass nice, and the vibe in here is so good. Try to keep this vibe, bro. Try to build the second drop just like the first, this mid drop. It's a nice vibe. Okay, let's go to the last tracks for today. I'm so tired. It's over 2 hours now. Yeah, it's getting late in here as well, so I need to go after this track. Let's do it. Nice one, bro. I especially like the triplet switch. It sounds super cool. It was like unexpected, surprised me. I like this one. So I think the kick could be just a little bit louder. The bass was okay, but the kick wasn't hitting hard. Yeah, just volume up the kick. The sample selection is nice. The bass is nice. The climax part, it's kind of weak. I don't know, this part sounded kind of weak to me. When I check the waveform, it looks okay, but maybe you can just volume up the climax leads a little bit. Yeah, kick could be more punchy. The climax leads, I like it, but it's maybe just volume, you know. The color is nice. You can give just 1 dB, 2 dB boost. That should be okay. And I think it's lacking some vocals, especially after the climax. You know, I just search for some speech, you know, like, and now they are coming to, you know, just something like that. That's like a God voice. And here, I don't know what to say, but you got my point. This section needs to be filled with some vocals or something like that. Yeah, especially, yeah, when I just listen it, I just lowered my volume in here. I just listen it with the less volume, and it's obvious the kick needs more punch. Yeah, it's the Chinese vibe. I can feel this one. Maybe you can put some Chinese speech, why not? This part is nice. And also the bass is super cool. Yeah. You can use text to speech. Yeah. Use ChatGPT to generate some Chinese lyrics. And then use some text to speech to have couple words, you know, representing the track's idea. So that's it, bro. Yeah. Guys, we listened tons of demos today. It's more than 2 hours now. I will see when I can make the next feedback stream. Maybe it's less than 1 month this time. And we will have an announcement, official label announcement soon. So in June, middle of June, my label is gonna start, Lunatic Rave Recordings. Oops. So I'm gonna just give a nice proper announcement on my socials, so make sure to tune in. If you have demos, I'm releasing techno, maybe big room techno, so that kind of dark style tracks, just let me know in the inbox. So we are signing demos already now, and yeah, wait for the official announcement, keep tuned. And other than that, if you want more professional feedback, you can just join my YouTube channel as a member. So you can have some membership tiers, you can have some personal feedback for one of your tracks. And also in the feedback streams, you will get priority. Again, thank you, Barish, for taking care of the stream and writing this bot. I think this updated version is dope. So that's it, guys. Thanks for being with me. In middle of night. Yeah, I'm very tired as well. So see you very soon, brothers and sisters. I love you all. Peace. Take care. See you guys. Bye bye.